So it's a little chilly out today. It's only 50 degrees. Time to break out the jeans. Anyway, I'm sure this guy looks familiar. I was just thinking before I started tearing apart the carburetor and everything, I was looking at the starter mechanism, the pulley, or your starter lever, handle, whatever you want to call it. So like I said, this was extremely rusty. It was seized. And I noticed when it pulls it, it doesn't pull it too far. But then when I had the handle held down, I moved this spring forward and I heard a click. So I'm thinking that's why we possibly have no spark. I didn't pull it to see, but I guarantee there isn't. So I'm going to bungee this up and pull that back enough that it locks in position. And we'll see if it'll start, just out of curiosity. I haven't taken anything apart yet other than the cover, so that's the first thing I did. I'll just wrap around a couple times here. So to keep something on it. Hook it to the other handle here. There we go. Now we got it locked. So I'm going to pull this back. Okay, well we should be far enough now, I guess. So I did loosen earlier, but there was an audible click, like I said. Of course it doesn't do it when you want it to, but that's how it goes, because I can't release that handle there. So I guess we'll primer, see if it'll start. I'm just curious. Give her a couple pulls here and see what we got. Hold that deep down. I got a hold the handle here. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, I did manage to get the click, but that's not the issue. I believe it is the carburetor, which is mostly at fault for sitting outside. I'm hearing straight air. I'm not hearing any fuel moving, so nor do I smell any. So I think the carb is just, the bowl's probably fucked. So we'll take it apart and clean it like I figured we would. So we're going to continue that inside out of the cold. Okay, so we're inside now, so basically we're just going to tear it down and clean up the carburetor and hopefully get the gas flowing. Check the spark plug, make sure that looks good. Like I said, I already disassembled the top, which was just a few Phillips head screws, I think. Yeah, so just 4 of those, and the top rod will come off, or cover, whatever you want to call it. That crappy filter. So we're going to get a new one of those. I have one sitting somewhere. So we'll go ahead and try and disconnect the fuel tank. Well, actually we'll pull this off first. Look at these, are probably 10 or 8 millimeter bolts, I would think. Of course my kit's not out here like it's supposed to be. Oh, there's the WD-40, I'll need that. I gotta go find the tool set. Yep, and they are 10 millimeter. So you got 10 millimeter deep well here. I should really put a little attachment on my drill and just spin them out, but there we go. It's one. I got 2 more. These are probably going to be nuts. Yep. There we go. Okay. came off. I was at to get some of those pliers and pinch that off. I have access to the carb. It's dry, so there's no gas coming up in there while I was priming it like I thought. Alright. Treat time. So now we'll pull the, like I said, getting you in those pliers, pull that line off, disconnect that, and then I'm going to take the top cover just to see what everything looks up top. Pull the spark plug wire off, clean the magneto up a little bit, and the coil pack, and you're good to go. So I don't think I'm going to disassemble any more than that. Everything else is pretty good. I can leave the fuel tank there. So, well, like I said, the oil looked good. The only other thing I'll have to do is probably get up underneath, pull off that drive cable, and see what it looks like under there. The drive seems to work. It locks when I go backwards, and you can hear it make its noise when you go forward. It's just that the lever is screwed up, and I don't want to snap the cable. I'd rather try to soak it and maybe move it slow or something. I'm going to spray it again like I did the starter hand. That's the other thing I'm going to do too, is grease all that in there with the spring and everything, make that cable work better. Or I might just buy a new one, but I like to see if I can keep the originals. Alright, we'll be back. So I have my trusty pliers there. I got the line down there off. I didn't get the fuel line off yet because I want to make sure that's not going to leak everywhere inside the house. I might just take that outside briefly to make sure that doesn't piss in here. I also took off your spring and your level there for the choke, I'm assuming, your throttle cable. You have to twist that all the way and then push that out, then push it back the opposite way to get the little spring out. So, and of course everything's loose. So that should slide off as an assembly. These are, like I said, disconnected, so I'm just going to take off the fuel line, like I said. So I just got to pinch that off somehow. I like to get vice grips or put a little bolt in there or something. Or just empty the tank into the gas tank real quick. That could actually probably be the fastest way, best way. And I'll be back after I get that disconnected. Okay, one point I just wanted to make on taking the fuel tank off. You obviously pull this long bolt that goes through the whole tank there, and you also have another bolt that goes up here. This thing bolts there. Well, actually, this bolt's here. You have another bolt there, so I have that line loose, and then I'm pulling a bolt out of there. One more here, which should drop all of this off. Then I can disconnect that, or actually just pull off everything as one unit. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll pull everything off as one unit, then disconnect it up here and go into the gas tank. So that way I can clean all this and make it all nice and clean in here, since I already got it apart anyhow. So, just wanted to make that point that you can just disconnect all that, take it off as one unit rather than disconnecting it like that. So, it might be like a little easier.